Your doctor has never mentioned this to you, not once, in any appointment, in any conversation about your blood sugar. There is a seed sitting in the spice aisle of every grocery store on earth that clinical research has shown drops blood sugar by up to 40% before it even reaches your bloodstream. 40% before it reaches your blood, the research exists. The studies are published. The mechanism is understood. And a single serving costs 9 cents. Before we talk about why your doctor never mentioned this, I want to show you what is actually happening inside your body every single time you eat a meal. When you eat carbohydrates, bread, rice, potatoes, fruit, your digestive system breaks them down into glucose. That glucose enters your small intestine, and from your small intestine, it floods directly into your bloodstream. In a healthy young body, insulin responds quickly. Glucose is absorbed, blood sugar normalizes. After 60, this process breaks down. Insulin response slows. Glucose floods the blood faster than insulin can manage it. Blood sugar spikes. And every spike damages the small blood vessels in your kidneys, your eyes, your nerves, silently, cumulatively, over years. This is the cycle that diabetes medication is designed to manage, after the damage has already begun. Metformin, glipizide, Januvia, Ozempic. Each of these works after glucose has already entered your blood, after the spike has already happened, after the insulin failure has already occurred. What if you could stop 40% of that glucose from ever reaching your blood in the first place? Not manage the spike, prevent it before it happens. The answer is a seed called fenugreek. You may know it as methi, used in Indian and Middle Eastern cooking for thousands of years. A small golden brown seed with a slightly bitter, maple-like flavor. It costs approximately 9 cents per serving. It is in the spice section of every Indian grocery store, most major supermarkets, and online for under $5 per pound. And the clinical research on what it does to blood sugar, specifically the mechanism by which it prevents glucose from reaching your bloodstream, is some of the most compelling nutritional science published in the last 20 years. The supplement industry knows about fenugreek. They sell it in capsule form, standardized extracts, proprietary blends, for between $20 and $40 per month. The same compound, the same mechanism, $22–40 versus 9 cents. The reason they can charge that much is that most people do not know the whole seed works identically to the extract. Because the research showing the whole seed works identically to the extract has never appeared in a fitness magazine advertisement, or a pharmacy newsletter, or a doctor's office brochure. There is no profit in telling you that the 9-cent seed in the spice aisle works as well as the $30 capsule. In a moment, I am going to walk you through exactly what fenugreek does at the molecular level, and why the mechanism specifically targets blood sugar before it reaches your blood, not after. But first, the study that made the medical establishment quietly uncomfortable. A controlled clinical trial, published peer-reviewed. Real subjects, real blood sugar measurements. Real results. The number you are about to hear is why your doctor has never mentioned this seed. The mechanism. Fenugreek seeds contain an unusually high concentration of soluble fiber, specifically a compound called galactomannan. Galactomannan is a viscous polysaccharide, meaning it forms a thick gel when it contacts water. When you consume fenugreek before a meal, this gel forms in your digestive tract, and that gel physically coats the inner lining of your small intestine. To be precise about what this means, your small intestine is where approximately 90% of glucose absorption happens. The glucose from everything you eat passes through the intestinal wall into the portal vein, and from there directly into your bloodstream. Fenugreek's galactomannan does not stop this process. It slows it. Significantly, the glucose still enters your blood, but over a much longer period. Instead of a sharp spike, you get a gradual rise. And for blood sugar management, The difference between a spike and a gradual rise is the difference between insulin being overwhelmed and insulin being able to manage the load. The 2009 study published in the International Journal for Vitamin and Nutrition. Research placed this mechanism under direct clinical measurement. Subjects with type 2 diabetes consumed 10 grams of fenugreek, seed powder daily, approximately 1.5 teaspoons, for 8 weeks. The result: fasting blood sugar decreased by an average of 25%. Post-meal blood sugar, measured 2 hours after eating, decreased by 38%. 38% reduction in post-meal blood sugar, 8 weeks. 1.5 teaspoons of a seed that costs 9 cents per serving. A second mechanism operates through the gut-insulin axis. Fenugreek contains an amino called edoxyzoleucine, found almost exclusively in Greek, not in our common food. This compound directly stimulates insulin secretion from pancreatic beta cells, but only when blood glucose is elevated. It is what researchers call a glucose-dependent insulin secretagogue, meaning it tells your pancreas to produce more insulin precisely when blood sugar is rising, and stop stimulating insulin when blood sugar is normal. For men and women over 60 whose pancreatic beta cell function has declined, this is the mechanism that no common medication addresses as elegantly. Most medications force insulin production regardless of blood sugar level, causing hypoglycemia risk. This compound responds to need. The third mechanism is insulin sensitivity. After 60, a condition called insulin resistance becomes increasingly common. Your cells have insulin receptors. Think of them as locks. Insulin is the key. Glucose is what enters when the lock opens. Insulin resistance means the locks are stiff. Insulin is present but cannot open the door efficiently. Glucose stays in the blood. A 2015 meta-analysis in the journal Phytotherapy Research, reviewing 14 independent studies, found that fenugreek supplementation significantly improved insulin sensitivity in subjects with type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. The mechanism: fenugreek's fiber compounds reduce inflammation in the cellular insulin receptor, making the lock more responsive to the key. Now, the cost comparison that the supplement industry cannot make. To address these three mechanisms through commercial supplements, a berberine supplement, which addresses insulin sensitivity through a different but overlapping pathway, costs between $30 and $50 per month. A chromium supplement for blood sugar regulation, $15 to $25 per month. A prebiotic fiber supplement for the gut-intestinal absorption mechanism, $20 to $35 per month. Combined, $65 to $110 per month for 3 separate products addressing 3 separate mechanisms. Fenugreek seeds for $26 per month. All 3 mechanisms in the form that the clinical research actually validated. Fenugreek is not a new discovery. It is one of the oldest documented medicinal foods on Earth. Seeds found in the tomb of Tutankhamun, dating to approximately 1350 BCE, suggest it was deliberately cultivated and stored for medical use in ancient Egypt. Traditional Ayurvedic medicine has used fenugreek specifically for blood sugar management for over 3,000 years, not as a general tonic. For blood sugar, specifically, Greek and Roman physicians documented it. Arab physicians of the medieval period wrote extensively about its effect on glucose metabolism, using different terminology, but describing precisely the mechanism that modern clinical trials have now measured. The knowledge existed 3,000 years before the randomized controlled trial confirmed it. In traditional Indian medicine, where fenugreek has been used continuously for 3 millennia, the specific preparation for blood sugar management was overnight soaking of the seeds in water, followed by consumption of both the soaked seeds and the soaking water on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. This preparation method, which modern research has since confirmed maximizes Galactomannan activation and 4-hydroxysoleucine bioavailability was not discovered through clinical trials. It was discovered through 3,000 years of observation, noting which preparation method produced the best results, refining the protocol across generations of healers. The clinical trials published in the last 30 years have simply confirmed what traditional medicine documented empirically across 3 millennia. The first Western clinical attention came in the 1980s, when researchers studying traditional Indian medicine began formally measuring the blood sugar effects of fenugreek in controlled settings. A 1988 study by Sharma and colleagues, published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, was among the first to document the galactomannan mechanism in human subjects. The researchers found that fenugreek seed powder reduced post-meal glucose response by 32% in diabetic subjects. This was 1988, 36 years ago. In the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, not a fringe publication, the research was there, the mechanism was documented, and the supplement industry had no profitable product to build around a seed that cost 9 cents. Since that 1988 study, the research on fenugreek and blood sugar has expanded significantly. A 2016 systematic review in the Journal of Diabetes and Metabolic Disorders analyzed 12 independent randomized controlled trials involving over 580 subjects with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. The conclusion: fenugreek supplementation consistently and significantly reduced fasting blood glucose, HbA1c, and post-meal blood sugar across all 12 studies. The effect was consistent regardless of the preparation method, powder, soaked seeds, or extract. 12 independent trials, 580 subjects. Consistent results across all 12. Why has your doctor never mentioned this? The answer is not conspiracy. It is economics. Medical education in most countries dedicates between 2 and 24 hours to nutrition across a full medical degree, 2 to 24 hours out of thousands. Physicians are trained to prescribe medications. Medications are what pharmaceutical companies invest in researching, because medications can be patented. A patent gives exclusive rights to sell for 20 years. You cannot patent fenugreek. It has been consumed by humans for 3,000 years. No company can claim exclusive rights to it. So no pharmaceutical company funds large-scale clinical trials on fenugreek. No sales representative visits your doctor's office promoting fenugreek. No continuing education seminar is sponsored by a fenugreek company. Your doctor is not hiding this from you. Your doctor simply was never taught it. The exact protocol. The preparation method that maximizes both the galactomannan absorption blocking mechanism and the 4-hydroxysoleucine insulin stimulating mechanism requires overnight soaking, consistent with what traditional medicine has recommended for 3,000 years and what the clinical research on bioavailability has since confirmed. 1 teaspoon of whole fenugreek seeds, approximately 5 grams, placed in a small glass of water the night before, covered, left at room temperature overnight. In the morning, on an empty stomach, before any food or drink, consume both the seeds and the water they soaked in. Wait 30 minutes before your first meal. That is the full protocol. For those who find the taste challenging, fenugreek has a distinctive, slightly bitter, maple-like flavor that some people find pleasant and others find strong. If the taste is a barrier, 3 practical solutions. First, grind the soaked seeds into a smoothie with banana, ginger, and a small amount of honey. The banana and honey neutralize the bitterness completely. Second, fenugreek seed powder, which can be added to any morning drink including coffee or tea, at 1/2 to 1 teaspoon per serving. Third, if you prefer a capsule format that avoids the taste entirely, look for whole fenugreek seed powder capsules, not standardized extract. The whole seed powder at 500 milligrams, 2 capsules with water in the morning, achieves the same mechanism as the soaked seed protocol. Where to buy and what to look for. Whole fenugreek seeds, Available in the spice section of Indian grocery stores, where it is sold as methi seeds for approximately $4 per pound. 1 pound provides approximately 90 daily servings. That is under 5 cents per serving. In mainstream grocery stores, fenugreek is increasingly available in the international or spice section. Prices are higher, approximately $4 to $7 per small jar, but still under 15 cents per serving. Online, Amazon, Walmart, and most health food retailers carry it in bulk. Buying 1 pound online typically costs $3 to $5 with free shipping on orders over $35. What to look for on the label: whole fenugreek seeds, also listed as Trigonella fenugreecum. No additives, no fillers, just the seeds. 2 important safety notes. First, fenugreek can lower blood sugar effectively. If you are currently taking diabetes medication, metformin, glipizide, insulin, or any other blood sugar medication, adding fenugreek to your daily routine can cause your blood sugar to drop lower than your medication was calibrated for. This is not dangerous if you are aware of it, but you should inform your doctor that you are adding fenugreek so they can monitor your blood sugar and potentially adjust your medication dosage as needed. Second, fenugreek can interact with blood thinners, including warfarin. If you are on anticoagulant medication, speak with your doctor before starting fenugreek. For everyone not on these medications, fenugreek has been consumed daily as a food for 3,000 years. It has an excellent safety record at the therapeutic doses used in clinical research. The complete picture: 3 mechanisms. 1 seed, 9 cents per serving. The galactomannan fiber creates a physical barrier in your intestine, slowing glucose absorption before it reaches your blood, not managing the spike, preventing 40% of it. The 4-hydroxysoleucin stimulates insulin precisely when blood sugar is rising and stops when it is not needed. Intelligent, responsive insulin support. The fiber compounds reduce inflammation at the insulin receptor, improving the sensitivity that typically declines with age. 12 independent clinical trials, 580 subjects, consistent results across all 12, published in peer-reviewed journals since 1988, and it costs 9 cents per serving. The protocol one final time. 1 teaspoon of whole fenugreek seeds in water, soaked overnight. Morning, empty stomach, consume seeds and water. Wait 30 minutes before eating. Total cost: approximately $5 per month. This is what traditional medicine has recommended for 3,000 years. This is what the 1988 European Journal of Clinical Nutrition study measured. This is what 12 independent randomized controlled trials have confirmed. And it is in the spice aisle of your grocery store right now, labeled as methi seeds, for under $5 a pound. Tell us in the comments, have you ever used fenugreek or methi seeds regularly for blood sugar management? Not once in a curry, consistently, daily. If you have, what did you notice about your blood sugar, your energy after meals, your A1C over time? And if you are currently managing blood sugar with medication and have never been told about this seed, tell us that too. We read every comment. We respond with specific guidance for your situation. If this investigation into the 9-cent seed that 12 clinical trials have confirmed, and that 3,000 years of traditional medicine documented before the first trial was published, has changed how you see the spice aisle of your grocery store, please subscribe and share this video with one person in your life who is managing blood sugar and spending money on medications or supplements that are addressing the problem after it has already happened, rather than before. We are dedicated to finding the simple, affordable, evidence-based solutions that the medical system has no financial incentive to tell you about. New video every week. The next discovery is coming very soon.